Hey everybody, this is Scoots here. This message is for people who support the show on Sleep With Me Plus. So if you're hearing this message and you support the show on Sleep With Me Plus, you shouldn't be hearing this message because this is in the ad-supported feed that I'm running this message. So please get all your Sleep With Me Plus content set up. It should be in your email if you just search for Sleep With Me Plus or Supercast in your email. You could always reach me through the contact form on our website because I don't want you missing out. You have every episode as it comes out, ad-free, the full episode. Then every episode as it comes out, the story-only episode in a separate story-only podcast. There's bonus shows, read with me shows. If you support it, if you're a Boar Bestie or Boar Friend, you got all intros come out twice a month, an all-night compilation, like a 4-hour compilation episode. And those feeds go so far back. We designed Sleep With Me Plus with super listeners in mind, or super fans or people that love the podcast. So if you listen all night long, you know what's perfect? The ad-free episodes. If you fall asleep fast, you've got so many options. Story-only episodes, but you don't have to worry about anything interrupting, especially if you fall asleep fast. You can really build your playlist however you listen, if you listen a lot, but make sure you have everything set up. And also, if you haven't checked out Sleep With Me Plus, you know there is a 7-day trial, so check it out and test that out. Test out the story-only episodes if you listen all night long. If you fall asleep fast, test out the ad-free feed. If you love all intros, check out all intros. I think there's 200-300 episodes. In the bonus feed, there's like on some Saturdays, we put out a Posty Super Deluxe, which is experimental takes on episodes. There's Fearless Flyer episodes that have only been released on Sleep With Me Plus and Patreon. There's Ray episodes. There's tons of stuff to discover, and all your old favorites are there. And you could do all that if you have. Oh, actually, either way, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. You could sign up for a trial, or then you could log in and get everything set up right there. Go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. If you're already supporting the show there, log in, add all of those podcasts to your podcast app, and you're good to go. Thanks, everybody.
This show is supported by Odoo. When you buy business software from lots of vendors, the costs add up and it gets complicated and confusing. Odoo solves this. It's a single company that sells a suite of enterprise apps that handles everything from accounting to inventory to sales. Odoo is all connected on a single platform in a simple and affordable way. You can save money without missing out on the features you need. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who's, I'm on the creaky side. I'm on the creaky side of Dulcet. I don't know why that makes me think of like a 90s TV show. I don't think there was Dawson's Creek. That's probably why. Was that in the aughts or the 90s? On the creaky side of Dawson. Could I have ever been? There was a show, it was a teen kind of soap opera. I think it was the 90s. Maybe it was the aughts, called Dawson's Creek. I think you're with me, thus far. If you're not, you could check it out. I don't know if it has had a resurgence or not. Like, what if someone, I don't know where you'd be. Like, if Dawson lives, Dawson's Creek. I'm on the creaky side of Dawson. That would be if you're so I think it was the town of Dawson's Creek, right? Well, boy, I'm off topic early. I guess I got to get back to this. Maybe I'll remember it because I forgot this is just the very beginning of the podcast, not even the intro. Welcome, by the way, to Sleep With Me. Whether your name's Dawson, Pacey, or any of the other characters whose names I can't think of. Pacey's just a very, Dawson was the name of the show. Pacey's just a memorable name. I'm surprised that it's in my brain. To be honest, I said, how come the filing system for a show I barely ever watched, though I did aspire to be some characters and had crushes on other characters, how come that is so readily available for actually anything useful? Or if they said, okay, Final Jeopardy is Dawson's Creek, I would not, they'd say, rhymes with Count Basie, a character on Dawson's Creek for Final Jeopardy. I'd have nothing in there. Basie? Maisie. I put question mark, Paisley? No. So this is the very opening of a podcast called Sleep With Me. It's a podcast to help you feel less alone in the deep, dark night. If you just tuned in, you might be like, what's this guy so excited about? Well, I mean, remembering Pacey, obviously, that's pretty exciting. But there's other things I'm excited about. It's to keep you company in the deep, dark night, to let you know you're not alone and that you deserve a good night's sleep. That's really what I'm excited about, to see if this show can help. It does take most people 2 or 3 tries to get used to this podcast. It's just what hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people have said. And I don't think we're up to multiple millions, but probably 1 million people have said that. They said, at first I didn't like the show. I didn't get it. Why were you in such a good mood? Where were the chimes? Where was the steady, calm voice and the breathing? I say, well, this show's a little bit different. It's like your friend in the deep, dark night. So just give it a few tries, see how it goes. We also have a website with other sleep stuff on there, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. So you could check that out if you already know. You say, for the love of James Vanderbeek, I say, okay, I understand. It's say that's a weird thing to be like, it's because I didn't say anything. I only have good things to say about, I said, I was, that's one of the people, I mean, that hair particularly, that was aspirate. I mean, I don't know. Well, I couldn't aspire to it because my hair couldn't do that. But I mean, I'd aspire to have the essence of Dawson. Also available in my imagination. New scent, about 25 years too late, but essence of Dawson with actually made its only imaginary creek water, but not from Dawson's Creek or any creeks because it's imaginary. Oh, so this is a podcast to keep you company while you fall asleep. We got coming up is support. This show's free. Great news. You don't got to pay for it. Then a long, meandering intro. You don't want to miss out on, even if you don't like support of the show or whatever, because it's meant to ease you into bedtime. We'll obviously be talking more about how to be on the creaky side of Dawson. Wouldn't want to be on the cranky side of Dawson, though. I don't know if Dawson was cranky. I didn't watch enough episodes. Maybe like in between, not in between takes, but, Dawson had to live a regular life when they only show the interesting parts on that show. Sunsets, minor, you say, well, I wrote a poem in my notebook and this person thought, I don't know if that was a plot of an episode and they thought it was about them, but it was really about them. And, what was they saying? Long meandering intro. That's meant to ease you into bedtime. Then we'll have a bedtime story where we'll look at a Buster Keaton film, a silent movie. That'll put you right to sleep, or keep you company. So that's the structure of the show. I make the show, like I said, because you deserve a good night's sleep. So I'm glad you're here. And these sponsors are what enable me to do it for you for free twice a week. All right, everybody, Scoots here. We're doing another one of these Buster Keaton things. Buster Keaton, sleeping with Buster Keaton. I don't think that's what I called it. But, so yeah, this is like so this movie's called Balloon Bud, and it's just so, we'll see if we can make sense of it. It's 22 minutes or 23 minutes, depending on the version you find. And it's 1923, but we'll run through it. I think it's sleepy. And then we'll see how long it takes me to meander. Maybe we'll do 2 movies, or maybe we'll stop and look stuff up. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So this was a first national picture, Buster Keaton and Balloon Buds. Name may have been changed to become more sleepy. Eddie Klein and Buster Keaton have written and directed. Buster's in quotes. And oh boy, does it start off. I was like, did this really, how it started off? Okay, so it starts off with, first off, you say, time travel possibility right to start because his face is lit by a cell phone. And I like how I think the couple of things that worked the first couple of times I watched this is, well, one, his face may be lit by a cell phone. So his face is lit from below. I think he's wearing makeup, and you could kind of see how he's known for having a face, with an expressionless face. I think this is also the movie where I decided one day I'll pitch a Buster Keaton, not a biopic, but I think I know Javier Bardem should play Buster Keaton at some point in the future, or a Buster Keaton-like character. And maybe, I don't know, I never watched the director's commentary or any interviews around that movie he was in with Josh Brolin. Actually, I have watched behind-the-scenes stuff about that movie. A country where the movie's called A Country Where We Grow Old Together, Happily Together. Josh Brolin, Tommy Lee Jones, and Javier Bardem. And like other people grow, like a country where we all grow old together. His character, there's a lot of movements. I don't know. It was just striking to me, maybe just me though. But I don't know if it was in this movie because I've watched a lot of Buster Keaton in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so anyway, he's got his hat on. He's got a tie and a coat on. His face is lit from below. Everything else is dark. It does look like a cell phone. Then he blows it out, though, so it's a light. And then he's in a room, and there's a lot of comedy, physical comedy. Obviously, it's so he's in some sort of bedroom or, I don't know, hall, like a big living room. He goes to one door. He looks around. He opens the door, and there's a surprise that says, "Hello, why don't you jump and surprise?" Then he goes to another door, and there's a fog machine inside that door. Also, to the left of the door is a chair. Now, these chairs, I know not everybody's from my generation, and I don't know if this was just a generational thing before my generation, but there used to, so it has this chair that people, like, at least we had one in my house, like a really high back chair. And I'm not talking about just a high backed chair. It's a chair that looks terribly uncomfortable, is terribly uncomfortable, somewhat fancy. I mean, and I didn't live in a fancy house either. Usually it's like if you were to label the chair, if it was ever actually used, you say that's a chair where you tie your shoes, or when someone comes in and they just sit down right away. That's the chair. It's like an entrance hall, high back chair. So high that Buster Keaton, standing up, the back of the chair is almost as tall as him. And ours had a wicker back and a wicker butt, which with 6 kids, I know it was replaced at least once in our life. Because if you're listening, don't do this to wicker stuff. I don't know if it was wicker, but it's round. I think that was wicker. I don't know, or some sort of, steak knife. Don't do it though. But you can't help yourself when you're a kid. But if you're listening to this podcast, don't do it. Help everybody, and don't do what Scoots would ever do. Like, you use that as a life lesson. Let Scoots do it for you, because it turns out it comes with consequences and regrets. So that we had that chair. Ours was, it had some sort of paint on it, like swirlies, and it was like kind of like a black lacquer. But there's just one to the left of this door with the fog machine. So he opens it. He's surprised to see fog. So he closes that door because he says, I don't want to see what else is in the fog. Then he goes to a third door. And apparently, oh no, yeah. So he goes to that door. First he says, well, let me get a statue in case whatever surprises me really surprises me. So he grabs a statue to the side of the door, then opens the door. And there's a really large effect. It's a double doors, and it's large animated figure from like a role-playing game. Even I think there's even smoke. I don't know, for some reason this version of YouTube doesn't have the bounce back. So so he's surprised by that so much that he falls down. Then this has got to be the highlight. I don't even know. So this, This movie may, for Sleep With Me listeners and Scoots, peak way too early. And let me just see if this is a real thing. Maybe let me look it up. Okay, let me explain it to you first. Okay, so he goes to open this third door, grabs a statue, opens the third door, is surprised by this I don't know, 5 feet tall, 5 feet wide, large being that could have different flavors of breath. May have even had steam coming out its mouth. That's just in the door that pushes forward into the doorway to surprise him. So then he finds a door in the floor, kind of like a door for stage performances. And that door opens up. Okay, then it cuts when he goes through the floor. And we see outside, we're at some sort of seaside amusement or what are those things called? Boardwalk amusement. Now, I'm not making any of this up either. And that's why I say this peaked early. There's something called the House of Trouble. And right when I paused it, there's just barely a minute in. It has a large thing, the House of Trouble. We're getting right now it's a wide shot. And there's someone outside advertising for it in a suit, barking, saying, come on in, House of Trouble. It's the house, if you ever wondered what it was like inside of Scoots' brain, we've just seen it in 3 acts and 3 doorways, fog, something way bigger, and something from the past, Past, future, imagination, 5 cents. I think it does have a price coming up. There's a few people walking by. There's someone also in a ticket booth, which is it seems to be, what is that called? A ticket booth is sunken in. And then on the roof of the ticket booth is a slide. But the slide goes right outside. My goodness. It's very comedic too. But there's a slide that just goes out of the House of Trouble right onto the side of the sidewalk. So gently for Buster Keaton. And I think it'll zoom in next. Let's just see. Let's hit play again. So he lands, he sits down, he looks behind him. 10 cents, trouble, get into trouble, 10 cents. And this dude's come on in, House of Trouble, slide on out. There's probably other ways outside of the House of Trouble. Then a woman comes and pays. She goes up to the thing, and she's very happy. She's totally optimistic. She's giggling when she gets her ticket and hands it to her. Now, I don't know if Keaton is being, he's well, I got to go. He goes, I don't know what that, is that Schadenfreude? And they say, what are you talking about, dude? This is the House of Trouble. You get into trouble for 10 cents, just 10 cents. Good question. How much was 10 cents in 1923? I looked up House of Trouble, but that's kind of a general term. How? Okay, this can't be right. No, that's for retirement. 10 cents adjusted for inflation since 1923, $1.76. So, yeah, $2. Okay, so makes sense. Actually, it's a bargain because usually, but anyway, even at 10 cents in 1923 dollars. So then Keaton sits down, this carnival person or whatever is advertising. And, Keaton is in for, let's look up Schadenfreude and let's see if Scoots can learn some stuff here. Yeah, this is the one time I'm actually using the word correctly. Pleasure from somebody else is not having to work out, which you could say by viewing this, you're doing it, but we're not, we're delving in. So then he sits down, then he gets up off the curb, he clears out, there's a couple leaves or something on the area where the slide should end. And clearly it's a relatable character. And I mean, I read into a little bit of Keaton's history, so he is relatable to me in more than, but he's not a patient, his character is not a patient person. Then he sits back down and he's Then he stands back up. Then he can't wait. And then he tries to like flirt with somebody walking by. That doesn't go well. So then he has low letdown. And then they say, "You want some Schadenfreude?" And then the woman comes down the slide and gently arrives with Keaton, connects with Keaton. She says so much fun, she goes right back in. And that's the end of that sequence. But let's just see. I mean, I looked up, it's just a hard, well, let's go to this other tab. There's a lot of things called the House of Trouble. And Mickey Mouse Funhouse, no. House of Trouble lyrics, Funhouse. So I don't know if we'll ever know. I mean, not right now, but I don't know. I had no idea there'd be something called the House of Trouble where he'd be surprised. But then he goes off and then he sees, I think it's the same woman he was trying to flirt with. She's trying to cross a puddle. This was always the thing, I guess, in silent films, in cartoons, which with Looney Tunes, like with Bugs Bunny and maybe even Donald Duck. This was a staple of these type of cartoons. There was a time, and you always say, like, what happened? Kids today say, what's up with these adults? And they like you say, okay, well, here's the thing. When our value system was based on consumption of media to encourage us to eat for sugared cereal mostly, and, drink juice boxes that contain no juice, and fruit by the foot, which is, I don't know if that contained any fruit either. But, what do they call it? Before they had fruit by the foot, it was the roll-ups. But by the way, during that consumption, one of the standard values from the past, because we were already watching rerun cartoons. So I don't even know when these cartoons were made. There was this thing that said one of the value system our society has is that, there's something with puddles, and puddles form a huge a huge opportunity for romance and chivalry, but also a huge challenge. And so this is what happens here: is there's a puddle, but usually it's also set up as an expectation. In this case, very well, but because we've been set up with this expectation enough, it's not as surprising as the whole House of Trouble thing. Which, because this movie actually has a very cold, I would say a cold open, you just get Keaton in this room. But so he goes and tries to lay his jacket down to show his chivalrousness. And she goes and steps in his jacket, gets in a car with another dude, and they drive off. And then his jacket's soaking wet. Then we see Ye Old Mill. This must be a movie. Also, there's so then he's flirtatious or something. He sees this woman go to a movie, Ye Old Mill. Or is it a ride? I guess it's another ride. But there was ice cream for sale. I wanted to see how much that ice cream was. Can we go back? Yeah. So there's also an ice cream stand behind in the background. So I wanted to price that out as well if we can. So I rewound it. She's getting picked up in a car, some sort of, T-model type of car. 1923 was when so soft drinks of all makes, Crescent ice cream. Oh, I missed it again. Maybe we'll get another shot of it. 1 cent for something. Wish I had the thing where I could just jump back. Oh, well. So she pays for a ticket to go on Ye Old Mill. Then he buys a ticket. So this is like a water ride. I already forgot. It's a boat ride. So then they're in the same boat together. She also has a really cool purse, by the way. And kind of like, Journey into the Pirate's Friendship or whatever. They go off. They go fade in and they fade back out. And his hat is messed up. So it looks like he was so it's it looks like his hat got wet in the water. The same day, the National Geographical Society was sending an explorer on a scientific expedition. So now he's all down. He leaves the fair and he sees a balloon. Now, it must not be a hot air balloon. It must be a helium balloon. And there's about 15 Monopoly men, one of whom looks like Brian Cox. And they're getting this balloon ready to go up. It's got a wash tub, bunch of things, a good luck banner. They say, hey, Buster Keaton, they're like, hey, hang this banner up on the top, man. And then this person from the Explorers, like National Geographic or whatever, gets in there. And he pulls something that causes it to take off. But actually, there's a hole in the basket. And this is the second Buster Keaton movie with a hole in the basket. The other one was on the way to a vet appointment. But Buster Keaton was on top of the balloon when it took off with the good luck banner. And again, I don't know if this is pioneering, but if this is the first time, but I mean, this has been a thing seen in action movies and probably comedies too. So he's standing on the top of the balloon. So then they cut back with the balloon and he's climbing down the balloon, and then they show Monopoly men being like, what, by my word, who makes baskets here in this silent movie era? Then Keaton gets in the basket, realizes the basket has no bottom. Then it was pretty cool, of him, trying to, sit himself in the basket. Then some time has elapsed, and he's, been in the basket so long that he's doing his laundry. But he has found a way to stand up in the basket. And he's even trying to dry his laundry. He puts out some wooden ducks. Because he says, I decided I want some pets and I want to make a mobile. And then, of course, he realizes there's a bird on his balloon. Then his balloon slowly, oh so gently deflates. And then he finds himself at the top of a tree covered in a balloon. And then after a little vulcanizing, the prince and the balloon pause to get their second wind, according to the word card. So then we see him working some sort of, I don't know what he's working on, some sort of pipe. I don't know if he's filling it with hot air. He also has a canoe, like a 3-part canoe. Which he ties together, or maybe he found somebody else's canoe. I didn't understand that. Then we see a woman fishing. Then he's getting ready to go fishing. Again, this was I guess I'm still confused by it all. Whatever. He goes fishing. He's got waders on. I think he's doing fly fishing. So I'm not, he goes in till it's really, till he ends up swimming. He doesn't successfully collect any fish, but his waders fill up with water. Then he does a handstand to get the water out of his waders. So that's good. He actually is good at handstands, I think from a yoga perspective. Water's really moving, so I'd say, hey, I don't think you're going to catch any fish. Then he ends up hooking his rear end, and then he hooks his rear end over a branch. And we also see this woman fishing. I think she thinks she's catching something. I don't know if it's his. At this point, he's his pants are falling down. He's waddling. He's got a string everywhere. He's lost his fishing pole. So then he starts fishing just by, he's holding a fishing line by his hand. And he's out on a little isthmus or peninsula. And then he gets in the water. And it's very comedic, him moving around. I think there's even a fish. Very good humor. Then he's trying to, he's using his pants, to keep some fish moving, maybe. Then we cut back to the woman fishing. She actually catches a fish. But then in whatever this, just like the wicker chairs, her her fish basket has a hole in it. Then we see him go up a smaller creek. He's like guiding the fish. He's saying, go this way. Then he tries to build his own dam. And I don't know. Then we see the woman is camping. Then he fully built a dam. I said, well, that's quite a good work there. The woman that was fishing is now swimming, and his dam is holding back a significant amount of water. The dam he's built is about, if he's 5'6", it's 5 feet high. Clearly kind of get an idea. He starts picking up fish. So I guess he's like blocking a small creek tributary that should go into the, was this the intro where we talked about Dawson's Creek? This could be Dawson's Creek. He's backed up. No, I think that's the next silent movie. We have the Dawson's Creek one. Okay, so in the future, Scoots will talk about Dawson's Creek. Okay, then he has a fish in his shirt, not ants in his pants. Now he's got a fish in his wader, so he's dancing around. Wader, like Waders, not Okay, then we see this, the woman that's fishing, she's getting ready to go for a swim. And he's still got fish in his pants. Then his dam fails. He starts swimming. But he's not very good at swimming, so he's doing a lot of flopping. I think it's his waders are so full of water. And this is a big creek to a river size thing. So he's floating around. And that's pretty funny. The female fisherman does a very nice dive into the water, bumps into him. And then she says, what are you doing standing in my way when I'm trying to swim? Get out of my river, man. And then he goes out of the river walking. She throws something after him. She's like, you really ruined my dive into this water. So he's like waddling away on his waders. We fade out. Fade back in. He's got a 3-piece canoe now. He's got 2 tennis rackets. I don't know if that's what he's going to use for the canoe. Oh, no, he does have a paddle, but I'm sure he'll be using his tennis rackets too. Oh, the canoe. Then he starts paddling. He doesn't realize he's still tied to shore on a stick. Then his canoe falls apart because it's made of 3 pieces that are just interconnected. I mean, I would say, you're not getting me in that canoe. So he loses 1/3 of his canoe. Then he has to go back. I don't know. I've seen those foldable canoes. So, I mean, who am I to judge, right? So we keep seeing like his not success. And then the woman who was fishing, she's actually now cooking her dinner. He finally fishes a fish. Instead of a net, he uses a tennis racket to scoop it out of the water. And he was sitting in his canoe on the shore. Okay, then he doesn't... He's not, then he tries to cook the fish in the canoe on a tennis racket. Inside of 2 tennis rackets so he can flip it. So obviously that doesn't go well. That's a really good effect too. So I guess thinking about it that this is fiction, it's really good effects. And he realizes I'm not supposed to have my cooking element for my fish in the canoe. Then we have a really good sequence of just a brief one where the woman who is fishing, it's actually kind of a universal experience. She pours herself like a cup of coffee or tea from her campsite, and it's very warm, so she steams out her mouth, but she kind of makes the typical faces slightly comedic of like if you had something too hot. Then we go back to Keaton. He's finally in now he's trying to canoe down the river downstream. And he's not doing bad in the first couple seconds. He just has to guide himself. Then we see a bunny. This point, his canoe, I guess you can, oh no, okay, so he's walking. So then we see the canoe's around his waist. And he must have canoe, what do you call that? Where you got canoe suspenders. Then we see the bunny has a baby. Then we see the bunny has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 babies. And he stops. He says, those are cute babies. But he's still walking with his canoe waistband. And then he gets back in. He's paddling. And again, I don't know if this is the first time we've seen these type of effects on film, because I'm not. But if it, like, these are common things we would see today. I mean, I'm sure if you saw like one of the fun, like beta breakers, there's probably someone running with a canoe or a kayak, right, as a suit. Then he overturns it. So there's a cool thing with his legs. Now the woman at her campsite, she's cooking dinner maybe, or making something else. And she goes, even though this guy ruined my swim, I'll help him turn over. So she tries to throw a rope to him, but he's kind of dancing, and she tosses a rope, but doesn't manage to hold on. And let's see, then then she gets the boat, she turns it over, she realizes it's just his waders, and then he again comes up from swimming and knocks her back in the water. But they help each other out of the water, and then they sit down on the shore, and she says, I'm cross with you. And then he spits some water out, puts his hat on, fade out again. Now we have, okay, I guess this is going to be a big sequence. He has the canoe, and it looks like it has some sort of canopy on it or something. Then we see a bull. Oh, and the woman that was swimming has encountered a bull. So she says, oh, this is like a, prototypical thing. So come, and he has like a picnic blanket and oar. She's across the water, and, okay, that's a good one. That's 16 or 17 minutes in. He jumps in the water to swim to the other side, but he like is in shallow water. So he's swimming while he's stationary. Like his belly's on the bottom of the creek. Okay. Then we cut back. He's crossing the creek, and then he's trying to be stealthy with the bull. And then he uses actually one of those squirt things with the pump that sprays a ton of water that people use in pools. And instead of the bull, he sprays her. Then he seems to use some sort of fog machine. Yeah. Or maybe those, like a smoke machine or something. Then she goes up to the bull and says, hey, bull, let's not be cross with one another. And the bull says, okay. And she goes, why don't we work together? Because I'm pretty powerful. And the bull says, clearly you are. And then she takes off, and is relieved that she's done with this bull, but that she had taken. Then she sees him. She goes, get over here. But he walks off in the opposite direction. And she goes, get over here. And he walks off again. But I think she's trying to help him. But he doesn't realize it. So then she chases him. He runs off. She goes, fine. But what he doesn't realize is there's another forest friend that starts to follow him. But he's clueless, so he's just walking, and forest friends are following him. Then she's like getting firewood ready. So we see her getting firewood ready. Even chop timber, she says. That's a game I used to play in my bed. He's still walking, being followed by a forest friend. But I will pause it to tell you what chop timber was. So chop timber was a game me and my siblings would play. But I shared it on the podcast many, many years ago. And apparently I didn't make it up. I thought I did, but someone must have taught it to me, or it's a ubiquitous game. You can play it as an adult, though it's been a while, but I will play it after. I swear I'll play it after recording. But now, if you check, like if a hotel has its own TV channel, or they pay like people to do like hotel reviews, people do a reverse where they fall into the bed. I don't know. My daughter and I, Like, we went to Universal, maybe, I don't know, not like we watched their TV channel, their hotel TV channel only has like one loop, like a 2-minute loop, and the family, 80% of the loop is the family, like, doing selfies of them falling into the beds, but they fall backwards. But I've seen it in other like YouTube videos too. But Chop Chop Timber's different. It's so when we were kids, we had twin beds, obviously, or maybe not obviously. This must have been pre-bunk beds because you can't do it in a bunk bed. So you stand at the head of the foot of your bed. Obviously, you want to make sure you have enough clearance. So you want to be a kid that's shorter than the length of your bed. Now, you don't have to stand elevated. You could just stand at the head of your bed. So I'm sure it would be cooler if you were elevated, but you don't have to be. And then you just take your hand, you flatten your hand out as if it was some sort of chopping device. And then you chop yourself. That's it. You go chop, timber, and then you fall forward like a tree. So you just chop yourself at the I would chop myself at the midsection so that I could stand upright. I guess technically you'd want to chop yourself at the ankles. But you're chopping yourself because if someone else was chopping you, you probably couldn't, you'd be like, don't chop me like that, man. But I guess if you saw me chopping, you'd say, Scootsy, you're falling at your ankles. And I say, I guess it's a proverbial. But yeah, you do chop, timber, and then you just fall forward through your natural momentum onto your bed. And that's it. Now you can do, because I would share the room, like I shared a room with my brother. So you could do it in sync. That was when it was really fun. Or if 3 people were doing it, or sometimes I think my sister would be in her room, so we'd do it synchronized. And that's really it. Chop, timber. Yeah, it's not an exciting. You say, what kind of games? What do sleep podcasters do as children to prepare to be for a career of boring people? Chop, timber is one of them. It was pretty exciting to me. And now, I mean, we didn't have tablets, so any of you laughing that are younger, at some point around, even on the weekends, there was no consumable programming for children. So, and usually there was only 1 or 2 devices in your home that could consume media. So this is what we were forced to do with ourselves. That's why somebody came up with this idea of puddles being a big obstacle for people. And I realized this like is more of an idea of like whatever the warped values of our time, but not chop timber. Chop timber is just good good fun. Okay, back to this video though, or movie. So he's being followed by a forest friend. He's walking casually. Then he sees a squirrel. So then he starts crawling after a squirrel. But meanwhile, a forest friend is crawling right behind him. And so they're both crawling along. And the woman who was swimming can see all this. And then Keaton tries to encounter the squirrel. He sees another forest friend who sniffs and licks him. And the other forest friend pats his behind and laughs. And then it all works out great. He realizes actually they're not forest friends. They're people dressed up like forest friends. And I don't know why that's impressive, but some reason, because he wrote the movie himself. He says, I can't believe 2 people were dressed like forest friends. He's doing a lot of pacing. He rolls up one shirt, and he says, but then the people are dressed moving around again. And he says, wait a second, the people are dressed as forest friends now or are they forest friends? Then they're leaning back to back. But he says, don't you realize they might be forest friends? Then they get in the canoe that has a canopy over it. He pushes it into the water. I'm presuming, so now it looks like it's like a canoe with a canopy. They're going down the water. He leans back. Then we see the forest friend, and he's like whatever. She says, don't worry about it. Let's just float in the canal. Then he starts playing something. on a ukulele. Then we see a big waterfall. Now, that's like not a great effect, because it's a long time ago. And the waterfall is like a model of a waterfall shot and a little bit slower, or I don't know, different. She pecks him on the cheek. So we see, it's a model. And it's just like, not stop motion, but holy cow, actually. So this is interesting. Wow. So this is really interesting. So, and I guess it doesn't matter anymore. I'll throw this idea out. So this is the exact same idea I had for updated version of the Jungle Cruise. If they moved so Disney World and Disneyland have this ride, the Jungle Cruise, right? And I guess it doesn't need to be messed with because it mostly relies on the skipper being very entertaining and doing these kind of like dad joke type jokes. And they have updated some of the animatronics, but I always thought if they moved it to the animal kingdom and they wanted to do it with real animals, then they could take all the animatronics and put them in the queue. But I thought it would be cool, and this is the same thing they do here. I guess I'll play out the end of the movie because there's only 30 seconds left. So they go over the waterfall, but they stay in the air because then you realize, the canoe and the thing is attached to the balloon. So you go, okay. And then that's the gimmick. But then two ends of the balloon fall off, but they start kissing and it fades out the end. But so the thing was that I thought that would be cool is that, so you got the Jungle Cruise, right? And it's all right, but I don't know. Recently, it's a pretty long line for it, so obviously it doesn't need to be changed, and there'd probably be a lot of pushback. That's why I said if you made a new Jungle Cruise, one, you'd move it somewhere, because at least in at both the Magic Kingdom and Disneyland, that's a big piece of land that they could use for more modern attractions. And I'm not saying there's not a lot of nostalgia and stuff. But moving it to Animal Kingdom where there's actual animals and then, I don't know, putting everything in the queue or whatever, figuring out a way to keep the animatronics. But that would be the effect that I had planned is that, so you'd be in the same kind of boat you're in, this Jungle Cruise type boat. But at some point, now I couldn't figure out how to achieve I guess everybody would know about it anyway. But I think it would be like a glass bottom boat, so you could actually go through places and see real animals. But then because they have what do they call that? Like a safari type ride. Like if you could have it be where somehow you gain elevation during the ride, maybe that's a part with the regular Jungle Cruise. I don't know. That you look like you're going to go over a waterfall. But the thing is actually, what do you call that? Like it's got it's like a gondola too. So the same effect. And then you go out over the what do you call that? The safari ride. And you could see, you could go over some of the enclosures or see the animals from above. Now I know people are always throwing stuff. So you'd have to figure that part out too. And it would cost a bunch of money, so they'd never do it. But it would be so cool to be in a boat, and then your boat actually goes, and then it's free flying, so it's actual floating boat and a gondola. So it's cool to see it, that Buster Keaton already figured that out a long time ago as an effect for the movie. So let me just try to figure out, though, this Funhouse, man, because I really would love to check it out. But I don't know how to Google something that's so generally. House of Trouble Funhouse. That doesn't work. House of Trouble. Let's try amusement park. House of Trouble. There's Funhouse. Something about other things. Mysteries. Mattel. Okay, House of Trouble Boardwalk brings up stuff about Boardwalk Empire and boardwalks. Let's just try House of Trouble Buster Keaton, but I don't know. That might bring up the name of the movie, but Uster. House of Trouble, Buster Keaton. Oh, at the House of Trouble. I think that's just a sequence from the movie. Yeah, it doesn't bring up anything. Oh, here's Chaplin Keaton Lloyd film locations. This is a silent film locations. Let's see what this one is. Silentlocations.com by John Bengston, the great detective of silent film locations. This is a blog, it's really deep. So let's see if there's just one. He does the lectures, Chaplin, Keaton, and Lloyd tours, and Hollywood Boulevard, Buster Keaton Studio Tour, Buster Keaton Hollywood Tour, Silent Echoes Tour, Harold Lloyd film location book, Silent Visions, Chaplin film location book, Silent Traces, and his Keaton film location book, Silent Echoes. Let's see. Newport Beach, Sherlock Jr., The Boat, let's just kind of slowly, San Francisco, Daydreams, and Navigator, Steamboat Bill, that was in Sacramento. So that might be another resource, if we were actually, let's see, this one's SearsHomes.org, Buster Keaton and Sears Homes. This is a pre-cut kit house, 1920. This is another movie, Ready to Assemble House. But we won't ruin it. It's good in case we do it. But it's like these Sears homes were ready-cut homes, quickly, easily, economically. These are kind of things that are coming back now. And framing members were shown marked to thing. This has a book about it by the Sears Homes book. So yeah, a lot of pieces of history here. But yeah, I can't find anything about this House of Trouble. So maybe it was just made for the movie. Maybe if we put House of Trouble 1920, this is we kind of roll towards the end here. House of Trouble 1920s. No, then it just brings up houses. It definitely need more rooms and more stuff to do than they had there, but still looks like it would have been a cool thing to check out. And I don't know, maybe I need to learn more about fun houses from the 1920s to get to the bottom of this. But for the time being, that's a little bit about silent film, sleeping through silent films while Scoots rambles on and on and on. Good night, everybody. All right, I want to thank everybody who became a patron recently. I want to thank Molly, Abby, and Becca. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Carrie, Sene, and Shauna, thanks, and good night. Daniel S., Daniel R., and James, thank you, thanks, and good night. Regina, Alicia, and M, thank you, thanks, and good night. Monica, Bebop, and Mish, thank you, thanks, and good night. Patrick, Shayna, and Jesse, thank you, thanks, and good night. Kay, Priyanka, and Karis, thank you, thanks, and good night. Math, Mark, and Lisa, thank you, thanks, and good night. Dara, Emily, and Uliana, thank you, thanks, and good night. Lily, James, and Mary, thank you, thanks, and good night. And Emily, Ben, and Amanda, thank you, thanks, and good night. Thanks to everybody that supports the show directly on Patreon or through other subscriptions. And thanks to everybody that supports the sponsors. And thanks to everybody that sends feedback or spreads the word about the show or tries a free trial, whatever the free ways you have to support the show or interacting with stuff. I really appreciate it. And here's Scoots with a Tuck You In sponsor asking for something. That's how we've gotten up to 600 ad-supported shows available free for everybody. Thanks and good night, everybody. Hey, boys, this is Scoots. Before you go to sleep here, this is just a tuck you in message for super fans of the show, super listeners, people that listen all night long, people that fall asleep fast. Maybe I caught you somehow. People that listen 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes a week. People that have listened longer than a year, longer than 3 years, longer than 5 years. If your life has changed, I've been saying this since April in a really direct way, but if the podcast makes your life better, it has changed your life and it's not replaceable. Like if you have something you could replace this podcast with, don't worry about it. But if you say, man, I'd have trouble replacing this show. Scoots didn't make the show anymore. I don't know how I'd feel about somebody else making the show. If Sleep With Me was just gone, or if it was behind a paywall, if there was less episodes, less free, or if the show was just not there, would you miss it? Would it be hard for you to replace it? If that's the case, please consider supporting the show. Test it out even. Just sign up right now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Because most people that wait for tomorrow wait a few years, to be honest, or maybe never support the show. It's always tomorrow. Don't wait till tomorrow. If you're going to miss a show, support it right now. Set up the bonus content tomorrow when you're rested. But you could do that. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Then you don't have to worry about any of this. And also, like a lot of people that aren't in a position to support the show or having to cut back right now, you'll be supporting the show for them too, which is pretty cool. But if you've been thinking about it and you haven't done it, you're who I'm trying to get a hold of. Because a lot of people, more people have decided they're not going to support the show than support the show. But it's the people in the middle that I just can't quite get a hold of that are going to change the future of the podcast either way. So if you're one of them and you'd miss a show, support it. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks.